Solve y equals x squared minus 6x plus 5 and x minus y equals 1. So we have two equations. We've actually, if you recognize this, this is a quadratic. And if you look at this, this is a line. So it's basically what's happening here. There's a quadratic and a line, and they're meeting at some point or not meeting at some point, depending on the case may be, right? And we're asked to find the value for x and y where they meet. Okay. Now, back in junior cert, you'd have done questions like this, but there'd have been two lines. Okay. And you'd have done simultaneous equations on them. So this is slightly different. Okay. So you've done it. It's done by a different method. Okay. So the way it's done is you take the line and you write it in terms of x. Okay, or y, okay, but we're writing it in terms of x. So at the end of this, it's going to be x is equal to, so we're going to manipulate this to get x equal, so x is equal to 1 plus y. So now what we do is we substitute that into the other equation, into the quadratic equation. So everywhere there's an x, okay, so in the other equation, there's an x and there's an x. What we're going to do is we're going to replace it with 1 plus y. So y is equal to 1 plus y squared minus 6 times 1 plus y plus 5. So now what we've done is we've created an equation with all y's in it so that we can solve it. One unknown. Where it was initially, it was two unknowns. Couldn't be solved as it was. So now it's one unknown using the other equation. So y equals, okay, so there's a bit of work to be done here. So rough work here. It's 1 plus y to be squared, which is 1 plus y by 1 plus y. So you split the bracket and multiply that. 1 plus y plus y plus y squared, 1 plus 2y plus y squared. So I replace that in here, okay? 1 plus 2y plus y squared. Multiply out this bracket, minus 6y plus 5. So tidying this up now, as you can see, this is a quadratic, okay, because it's an x or y squared at this time, okay. So I'm going to put them all this time. So I'm going to y squared first, then I put all the y's together. So 2y minus y minus 6y, and then I put the numbers at the end. Well, there's a 1 minus 6 plus 5. So working this out, so you get y squared. 2y minus y is 1y, minus 6y is minus 5y. 1 minus 6 is minus 5 plus 5 is 0. So we actually get 0 for this. So this is my quadratic. Now how do you solve this quadratic? It's not guide number, it's highest common factor. Okay? So how do you do that? You take out what's common. So you take out y, and you're left with y minus 5. So to solve this, these are called factors. So to solve it, you let both factors equal to 0. So y is equal to 0 and y minus 5 is equal to 0. This one works out to be 5 and this works out to be 0. So this is my answers for y. So we're not finished yet because we need to find the values for x. Okay, now we know what x is. X is equal to 1 plus y. And we know what y is. X is equal to 1 plus 0, so x is equal to 1. So this is the x value corresponding to the y value is 0. So that would be a point 1, 0. That's 1, 0. Now there is a second y value, okay? So x was equal to 1 plus, well, what was the other y value? 5. So x is equal to 6. So there's my other x value. So if you combine those two together, you get a point of 6, 5. So there's 6, 5. So there's my 2 points. And they correspond to the 2 points that the line and the quadratic intersect. So that's the answer.